Welcome mappers to this CC3 plus Quickie video, where I will talk about the problem some people sometimes experience that symbols seem to just disappear. I have a map here, and for now I'm just going to zoom in to this, and I'm gonna place a nice little city symbol here by the sea. So, looks great, what? Have a symbol, everything fine? Okay. I'm gonna zoom extents. Ooh, where did my symbol go? The symbol is completely gone. So whenever this happens, it's almost always a sheet ordering issue. It could be an effects issue if you have some kind of effect enabled on the sheet with the symbol that ends up hiding it. For example, an edge fade, especially when you draw terrain and things like that with drawing tools. You can have an edge fade that is so wide that the entity itself is basically reduced to nothingness. So that's the second thing that might happen, but usually it's a sheet ordering issue. And we can demonstrate this by hiding a few sheets. Let me just try to hide my landmass sheet for a little moment there. And you can see here is the symbol. It's hiding out behind the landmass sheet. But if I put it back, it's there. So one of the first questions a lot of people ask is, well, but when I placed it, I saw it there. It was there all along until I zoomed. Why did it disappear when I zoomed? Well, the issue here is that when you place a symbol for performance reasons, Campaign Cartographer 3+ does not redraw the screen each time you place a symbol. Redrawing a screen is a time-intensive operation, and it would slow down your work with the program if the screen needed to be redrawn all the time. So everything new you place are always placed on the top for the moment, and it's only when you do something like zoom or scroll or hit the redraw button here that it actually redraws and put things in correct positions. So as we can see, the symbols clearly exist, they're just hiding behind something else. So the best way of figuring things out is to just figure out which sheet are they on. And for that we can use the list command from the info menu. And notice that even if I can't see the symbol, I can still select it. It's still selectable. It can be difficult to click on, but I know it's somewhere in this area, so I can select it. I can grab the other city too, just like that. So you can still select them without actually hiding sheets if you want to do that. Or you can do as I just showed you. I can hide the sheets and take that route instead. So let me show you the list output. The list output here shows my symbols, and you can see on the top it tells me what sheet the symbols are on. They are on the background sheet. Okay, so that kind of tells me immediately there is something wrong. Symbols shouldn't be on the background sheet, and I can just fix that by using change properties. Again, I don't need to see them to select them. Do it and just change the sheet to the symbol sheet. So this is how you move them. Use change properties to do it. And you can either use list to figure out where they are, or you can just keep hiding sheets to find them like I did, and just figure out where they are and move them to the correct sheet. The symbols themselves might also have been on the correct sheet. It could be something else that was on the wrong sheet. For example, if I temporarily move my landmass to the screen sheet, the effect will be much the same thing. They will be hidden, but in this case it's not the symbols which are on the wrong sheet. The symbols are clearly on the symbol sheet. But if I go in and check my landmass, I can see that my landmass seems to be on the screen sheet, which is clearly wrong, and it needs to be moved to the appropriate sheet, the land sheet. Just like that, and there we are. Just notice I'm using keyboard shortcuts a lot, but every time I do things like change the sheet, for example, if I had to take this city and I'm gonna put it back on the background sheet, it doesn't disappear immediately. I still need to do a redraw or a zoom. So also make sure you do that when you use tools like this. Remember to redraw the window to see your changes. They won't happen immediately. So back to the symbols you go. So this is really the story behind disappearing symbols. Also goes for disappearing tools. I did mention that it could also be an effects issue, so watch out for that, but the sheet ordering is the most common culprit. Make sure everything is on the correct sheet. Use list to figure out which sheet it's on, and use change properties to move it to a different sheet. When dealing with sheet order, also remember that the list in this dialog shows the order the sheets are drawn on the screen. It starts with the top one, then the next one, then the next one, the next one, and so on. And for each sheet in the list, the entities on that sheet are drawn on top of everything that's drawn before. That means that the last sheet in this list, the entities on this sheet, is what will be drawn on top of everything else. So if you need to change the order to determine what's going to be drawn on top, remember to have a sheet drawn on top of another one. It needs to be below it in this list. For example, what's on the map border sheet will be drawn on top of absolutely everything else, while the things on the top here is what will appear on the bottom and will be hidden by other sheets. Okay, thank you for watching. Seeing you in the next video.